Hello YouTube, it's Keith Kevin Ken. It's time for another mini, M-I-N-I, collection video. And today, well, you see it right there. It's all about Spyderco, and it's all about the Spyderco flipper. This right here is the Spyderco Southern, a collaboration with Brad Southern. I'll tell you, Spyderco took a while to get into the flipper game, and you can understand why. I mean, their whole brand is the Spidey open hole, okay? And so them doing a flipper was really something new and an innovation for that company. They hooked up with the knife maker Brad Southern and came out with a hit. It's the Spyderco Southern. Oh man, what a beautiful knife. They take the Kit Carson, really famous Hall of Fame knife maker. They take that flipping mechanism. They then, on the lock side, go to Chris Reeve, as they usually do, the Chris Reeve integral lock. They have a lock stopper there so you don't hurt your lock by extending it too long. Just wonderful. A new type of clip for Spyderco. They didn't just include their regular clip. All tie. And then, of course, this G10, the brown G10. And that's where the controversy begins. Not really a controversy. Everyone loved the flipper. It was very successful. The Southern flipper is just wonderful. Rave reviews from everyone. Everyone, not everyone, a lot of people hated the brown G10. They hated how it looked. It's a very coarse G10, very coarse. You feel it, which means it's very grippy, which a lot of people want. Wonderful jimping, great knife. But man, this knife probably, next to another flipper I'm going to show you, it's either the most pimped out knife from Spyderco or the second most pimped out knife. Either this or the Domino, because people just did not like those scales. But that was the beginning of the flippers, and I'll tell you, they haven't stopped, and they just continue doing, I think, very nice flippers. One thing Spyderco does is they really do listen to their customers. They got it. All the blade forums, their own forums, were talking about how ugly the G10 was, how they love the Southern, how they love that flipping action. I do too, by the way. How they loved everything. So Spyderco came out with another version of the Southern. Everything is the same except it's a blacked out version. Everything black, so that makes it not the same, right? So everyone can deal with a black blade, all black, black titanium on the lock side. There you go. The extension guard. Wonderful. The G10 is not as grippy. It's a lot smoother. And I'll tell you, the flipping action, a lot smoother. This made my top 10 list. At some point, I'm going to do a top 10 video list, but I want to wait after. I'm recording this in February of 2016. This year, 2016, is going to be an epic year for Spyderco. I tell you why. There's a video up on my channel right now. Check that out after you watch this. So I want to wait until after that year to do it, because I think some of them are going to make my top 10. Not only of Spyderco, I'll do a top 10 Spyderco, top 10 Chris Reeve, top 10 Browse Blades, top 10, a bunch of things, okay? But anyway, this is really nice. It is smooth. It's butter. See how it flips out there? I think it's a lot smoother even than the original Southern, and that blackout is wonderful. G10, just perfect. So they really hit it out of the park. In 2015, late 2015, again, I tell you, I'm recording this early 2016 in February, they upgraded the Southern. Oh, man. It is the new Southern. Brad Southern came back to Spyderco, Spyderco welcomed him in with open arms, and he came up with the Positron. So the new Southern is called the Positron, and man, it's a lot smaller, a lot lighter, full carbon fiber, real carbon fiber, no liners, which makes it super light. Instead of that frame lock, they have a liner lock right there. And instead of that custom to the Southern clip, they brought my favorite Spyderco clip, bar none, the top clip, the wire clip, deep carry wire clip. I'll tell you, after handling this so much and the other Southern so much, and just loving it with the tie liners, full liners, skeletonized, and the tie lock and all of that, when I got this in the mail, I went, huh? Maybe I ordered the wrong thing. So light, so small. But no, this is the Positron. And you know what? S30V steel, I never had a problem with the Southern. And when I got this, I said, man, this isn't what I expected. Now I love it. I get it now. I was not one of those screaming about a lighter Southern. Obviously, a lot of people were. I think this, because of its wonderful size, the original Southern has a 3.5-inch blade. This right here, this Southern has a, do I have it down? This Southern has about a 3-inch blade. It is so light. The carbon fiber is beautiful. It's light with that pocket clip. It flips like a dream. Look at the little flipper. This is perfect to carry. It really is perfect to carry. You can't, that was me flipping, not the flipping action. You know, you can't deploy it just using a Spidey hole. In this case, the Spidey hole is purely branding. But man, why would you? You have a nice flipper. So yes, my first day of getting it, I posted it on Instagram. My Instagram is @KeithKevinKen. I went, let me think about it. Here's the new one. And then 2 days later, I said it's one of my favorite. It just grew on me. It's so light. It's so wonderful. I have carried that. I've only had it for a month, and I've carried it more in that month than I've carried either one of those in the last 2 years. So that tells you what that's all about. Now, the Positron is a new one, but I wanted to group it with Big Brothers, the Southern, so that you can get a visual of them. But after the Spyderco Southern came out, Spyderco came with the Domino. What a wonderful EDC size. It has that, you know, it has the carbon fiber peel on it. It's a carbon fiber peel on top of G10. It feels like carbon fiber. It's less expensive for Spyderco in their production. So you get a knife that you can afford. A wonderful flipper with that Spyderco blade, that shape that to me is a Spyderco shape. Now, what happened? Well, remember I talked about the old Southern? Well, everyone loved the Domino, loved the size, loved that Kit Carson flipper, loved the tie and the integral lock, the frame lock. This is Spyderco's regular clip. What they didn't like, oh, you can do it manually if flippers aren't a thing for you. Everything works great, except everyone thought those scales were butt ugly. So remember I said it was either, the Southern was either 1 or 2 in the butt ugly category of being pimped. Well, this Domino is either 1 or 2. They're fighting for that position. Everyone wanted new scales for the Domino. Everyone ran out to get new scales for it. Now, I'm probably the only one online that will give you a defense. First of all, I love Spyderco. You know that. I've got a lot of their knives. They do make some mistakes. But when you do a domino, I'm old enough to have an old-fashioned domino set, and all the dominoes we played with felt and looked just like this. The backside, you know, dominoes, the thing with the dots on the other side. So I'm assuming, they've never said it, that that's why that is. It feels like a domino. I actually went through my closet trying to find an old set, and just like they did, I upgraded my old domino set to different backings. But that feels like a domino. And so my guess is that's why they had scales like that. But what Spyderco does, probably better than any other knife company, they listen. And so they came out with a revised domino. Same everything, same action, same everything. That's me flipping, not the action. The blade steel is CTS XHP. I'm not that familiar with the blade steel. Same as with the original domino. They had this wonderful, here we go, another peel ply carbon fiber. But man, look at that blue. Isn't that beautiful? Looks a lot better. So basically, Spyderco pimped Spyderco. Just like Spyderco pimped themselves with the Southern, with that blackout version, they pimped themselves with the domino, with this blue check carbon fiber peel. And then they worked with a company called Bento Box. Bento Box does a number of exclusives from Spyderco. When I pull, okay, this is CTS 204P steel. Again, I'm not a big steel fanatic, so I don't know all of the steels, but I wanted that for your information. By the way, this is not a review. I don't do reviews on my channel. What I do is we talk knives, play with the knives, and love the knives, plain and simple, and fondle them as much as possible. But what they did was they worked with Bento Box. This is a Bento Box exclusive. I think you can still find these. I have found them. It is just wonderful, just all blue G10 scales. So where those are the carbon fiber ply, peel ply handles, this is G10 blue. So they pimped themselves again. Those three are the dominoes. After the dominoes, they said, you know, and Spyderco does that a lot, let's do a smaller flipper, call it the dice. Okay, and so here's the dice, Spyderco dice. Man, it is a lot smaller. All of these have that wonderful chortle. You hear me just gasp at how Spyderco handles that chortle. Because I have big hands, it's just wonderful. This finger, it helps you really control the blade. It's perfect, perfect. I really love it. They use a lot of the handle space for the chortle, so you don't take up a lot of the steel space. Anyway, this was the dice. Did they improve? Did they learn? As far as butt ugly? Not really, but man, I love the dice. Do you see how that swings out there like crazy? If you don't have a Spyderco flipper, you know, get the Southern, because everyone will be talking about the Southern. But man, this dice, if you like a smaller knife, the dice is great with that flat ground, that big fat leaf blade. It's really wonderful. That's the dice. This is the chronological order now that we're going into. So, of course, Spyderco said, okay, we've got the flippers. They get it. Yes, it's weird that a company built on a one-hand opening hole is doing flippers that a lot of folks are doing. But that's okay. We're innovative. We're a quality knife company, and they are. So they hooked up with Peter Carey and said, let's do your custom folder. And that's what they did. They hooked up with Peter Carey and came out with the Rubicon. Oh, man. Oh, man. I love the Rubicon. That 3D molding. Now, remember, Spyderco is not a custom knife maker. They're a production knife maker. They're making tens of thousands of these. Look at that. 3D real carbon fiber, the real stuff, not plied. They have that orange G10. They have that carry pivot. They have that wonderful G10 that offsets that carbon fiber. Look at this. That G10 backspacer. Look at it. Molded backspacer. They have full tie liners, but they're skeletonized, heavily skeletonized. So this is a rather light knife, except for that mega blade right there. Man, what a mega blade. Just wonderful with the swedge on top. Just a nice, and flips for me like a dream. For a heavy blade, it's just wonderful. Liner lock, Spyderco liner lock, which is great. And a custom for the Rubicon clip. So they didn't spare any costs for a production knife. I'm telling you, they had this special clip. It's S30V steel, I think. Let me double check. Yes, S30V steel. The 3D carbon fiber. Oh, man. The orange G10 around the pivot. The orange G10 backspacer. The custom clip for this. Not custom, obviously. It's production, but you can only find it on the Rubicon. It's something else. Now, here's the problem. Expectations are a mother. Just like I told you, I was expecting the new Souther to be just like the old one. Heavy duty and all of that. Well, guess what? It's not. It's not. In fact, it's everyone could not wait for the Rubicon to come out. Peter Carey, very successful custom maker, and when they got it or saw it, they just went crazy. Only S30V steel? Man, I can remember a year and a half ago, people died for S30V steel. Only S30V steel for that price? It's so expensive, it should have a better steel. It is an expensive knife, and one reason it's expensive is, number one, man, it's 3D full carbon fiber. It has all of these details. A custom only for this knife pivot. A clip only for this knife. And so there were costs. It was expensive. If you can afford it, get it. I really like it. Now here's the good news. Spyderco always listens. Remember I told you? I just saw on a YouTube SHOT Show 2016 video. If you're watching this before the new knife comes out, check that out when you watch it. It is great because Spyderco is introducing for later in 2016 an updated Rubicon. Now this Rubicon isn't even a year old yet, and they've updated it. So they listened. So what they have now watch the haters come out later, but this is what they have. Because it was expensive, they heard that. And other things. For instance, it's wonderful to have this 3D molded carbon fiber, but it's a little fat in your pocket. It's not as flat as most knives are. That's why it's unique, right? And so what they did was they don't do the molding. They put on carbon fiber peel ply, the carbon fiber on top of G10. So it's flat, it has a carbon fiber feel, but it's on top of G10. That's to get the cost down, folks. The backspacer, I guess some people, I don't feel the hot spots. A lot of people love the backspacer, some didn't. And so what they do is they still have the orange G10 backspacer, but it's smooth. It doesn't have those ridges. You see that? It doesn't have ridges, it's just smooth down for those folks. And remember I talked about the custom for this knife clip? Well, that's gone. Now we have the standard hourglass Spyderco clip. Again, it's still S30V steel. The blade is still the same shape and everything. But I'm going to get it because I like variations on knives. But it should answer everyone's questions. It's flatter. It should feel flatter in your pocket. It doesn't have all of this carbon fiber 3D molded, so it's going to be less expensive. Those are the trade-offs you get when you want a less expensive knife, but it looks wonderful. I'm happy that they're going to introduce it. I hope it answers everyone's questions, and I really like that blade. Can't wait for the new one. And then right after January, the new year, Spyderco came out with 2 flippers at the same time. The Mantra 1 and the Mantra 2. Mantra 1, Mantra 2. And let me explain these flippers. Oh man, I love them. Again, Spyderco is going lighter. Look at the clip. They're using my wire clip a lot. It's light, it's beautiful, it doesn't catch on anything. Deep carry. This is full tie flipper. Has a full Spyderco hole, has that Spyderco shape for the blade. It's CPM M4 steel. Now this steel I am familiar with because the Gail Bradley has it. It keeps sharp for a long time. It does rust on you. It can rust on you, so you have to take care of it. You have to put some lubricant on and make sure that it's fine, and then it will be fine. It's a wonderful steel. Man, and here's the kicker for this one. This is the Mantra one. This is a Delica flipper. Same handle as the Delica, except this is titanium. Same handle, same blade. I put this against the Delica. You'll see that it's exactly the same. It's beautiful. The flipping action is great. The frame lock is wonderful. The clip is great. They also have a steel insert on the lock because titanium on steel starts to wear down, and so you start seeing that lock move across the blade. The lockup get less secure. So there you go. This is the Spyderco Mantra #1. It is a flipper Delica. If you love a Delica and you wanted a titanium flipper with a wonderful frame lock with this clip, you got it. That's called the Mantra 1. Yes, it is on my new list of top 10s. It is a wonderful flipper. 2, Mantra 2, the difference is different blade, blade profile, does not have a functional Spidey hole. In fact, the Spyder hole is just a brand for this. Still CPM M4. The only difference is that Spidey hole and that low profile blade that they have on this. Both of them wonderful. CPM M4, remember, and flips like a dream. Light as can be, all tie. Still has that exact same handle, so it has that Delica handle. There you go. Mantra 1, Mantra 2. Man, they kicked off the year with some great flippers, and they have a bunch of great flippers coming up in 2016. As I see it now in February 2016, I think this is going to be an epic Spyderco year, especially for the flipper. There you are. That's the Keith Kevin Ken mini collection as I work through my Spyderco collection here on YouTube. There's also posted a mini collection from Browse Blades on the Silent Soldier. There is a mini collection from, as I record this, there's going to be a bunch of mini collections up there if you watch this later. There's a mini collection on Chris Reeve, small Sabinzas. I'm going to continue at least once a week, maybe twice a week, to do mini collections. And of course, every day we have the Pocket Dump deconstructions. Every day we talk about 4 different knives. So join up, become part of this community so we can love the knives. This is Kevin of Keith Kevin Ken. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, become a part of our knife community here on YouTube. Hey, have a perfect day, won't you? And thank you very much for spending so much of your precious time with me. You have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.